Good evening, everybody. It is a lovely, lovely Monday night here. Monday night. It's not a Monday night. It's a Thursday night. Welcome in, everybody. It is a Thursday night here, 7 o'clock Central Time. This is the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Lance Pell. Senator Lance Pell, one of the most amazing men on the planet, so he says. And we're here, man. We're here. We're back. We're live. I'm absolutely pumped for tonight's show, man. We've got a good one on tap for you. This is Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City that we're live at. We can't thank them enough for letting us do our shenanigans here, man. It's just an absolutely phenomenal experience, a phenomenal place, phenomenal atmosphere. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it, and I want to lead tonight's show with a little study. And I went a little bit into this earlier on Facebook, so if you follow me on Facebook, you know exactly what I'm about to say. But it's proven fact that Auburn fans either suffer from a heart condition or are currently balding or are bald. And so that's just a fact. And I know that because I am one. I experience that. I go with it. I live it every day. And, yeah, that's just kind of something that happens, in my life. So that's how I know that. And, I got quite a bit of feedback. And Jaden Colley chimes into the live chat. Jaden is not an Auburn. Jaden is an Auburn fan, by the way. So he either falls under the balding or the condition. But, no, either way, Jaden chimes in and says, that ranking beside our name ends this weekend, sadly. Jaden, you're right. I hate it, but you're right. If I were ranking the top 25 teams, it would not though. Just know that my ranking is the only one that matters. So we're going to dive into the Power 12 here in a little bit, the HCS Power 12. That's going to be a fun one to dive into, to break down. A bunch to talk about there. We have some risers and some fallers. A bunch happening this week, though. What happened last weekend? Dude, oh, my gosh. I was staying up till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, watching a little football. There was some football on later than that. I didn't dive into it. I'm sorry. I fell asleep, okay? Fell asleep. I had to. So, no. A bunch to talk about tonight, and I'm really excited for it, man. I hope y'all are too. So last week, Tennessee and Georgia had one of the most amazing games that you will ever see. Joey Aguilar showed up and showed out to all the fans out there that thought that, man, you know what? Maybe Joey Aguilar just isn't necessarily the guy for this Tennessee program. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of didn't think so. I was on the fence about Aguilar. I was a little, I'd say, wishy-washy. I did not necessarily think that Joey Aguilar was going to be the guy. He turns out he's a really good ball player. He turned the ball over 2 times, interceptions. One of those not really being his fault. It is what it is. But no, overall, Joey Aguilar played a hell of a game. You cannot put that aside. You cannot overlook it or anything like that. Joey Aguilar's here to stay, okay? They've got UAB this weekend, not a team that many people fear, especially when Trent Dilfer is a head coach. Nothing against Trent Dilfer as a person. He was a great NFL player. But when it comes to a head coach at the collegiate level, I'm not necessarily sure how all that fares out. So it is what it is. We move on. So Tennessee will get another win. But, no, Georgia, on the other hand. Georgia, man, just a fantastic game by Georgia. Gunnar Stockton showed up and showed out as well. Not many people thought that Gunnar Stockton, like Joey Aguilar, was going to be the guy for Georgia. Gunnar Stockton, he looks like he's 40. He's not going to be able to get it done. He may look 40, but he's damn good at football. And I understand that. I understand where people are coming from. There's a lot of people, while not necessarily pretty, are good at their job. I like to think I'm good at my job anyways. But no, Gunnar Stockton played one of the best ball games that I've seen out of a quarterback this year. Same with Joey Aguilar. Stockton looked comfortable. He didn't necessarily turn the ball over as much as I thought he would. And he hasn't done that this year, really. He hasn't turned it over as much as I thought he would. He's been playing a good brand of football. So I certainly think that just as long as he has a good head on his shoulders, as long as he is, not trying to play Superman, not trying to play hero ball, he's going to be fine. He will succeed. Chet chimes in on the show, says, man, the Hayden Coker Show. That's right. And that's exactly what you're watching. I don't know what else you'd be watching at this hour. But unless it's something bad. But no, this is, man, we're getting to the point. We're getting to the point where I'm getting really excited about where we are at in the season. We're going into week 4. We got some really big games this weekend. You have Nebraska and Michigan, which in my opinion is one of the most slept-on games of the weekend. I don't hear these guys that talk all SEC talk about Nebraska and Michigan. That's going to be a heck of a game, guys. It's going to be one heck of a game Saturday night. Michigan favored in that game, as Coach Biff Poggi said. As head coach Biff Poggi said, right now the interim head coach for the Michigan Wolverines, he's going to let Bryce Underwood let it fly. He's going to let it fly. He's not going to hold him down, and he's letting him go. So I'm curious to see if Bryce Underwood will take another step and really take over as that manager of that offense. I'm not calling him a game manager. That's not what Bryce Underwood is. It's not who he is. That's not what he will be in the future. Bryce Underwood's a good quarterback. He's being paid millions of dollars to be the quarterback at Michigan right now, or else he would be at LSU. As I take a sip of the Buffalo Wild Wings sweet tea. Man, that is something else. That's really good. But no, it really frustrates me when people throw out that term of game manager. Oh, this guy's a game manager. There's nothing wrong with a game manager. A lot of people, I think a lot of what people get confused with game manager and elite quarterback is the people who throw in. So like let's look at a few years ago, the Stetson Bennett's. They'd say, oh yeah, man, Stetson Bennett's elite, which by the way, Stetson Bennett was elite. But everybody would say, oh no, he's a game manager, just because he wasn't necessarily flashy like some of the other quarterbacks that we've seen. So like, for instance, Jaden Daniels, for instance, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield. Guys, Stetson Bennett was not a game manager. The guy was elite. He took that next step, and I think that, and this is obviously aside from the point, people just got to get over that, okay? Bryce Underwood, he will be an elite quarterback, and he will not be labeled as a game manager. That's just not who he will be to us. He will be elite. An elite game manager. An elite quarterback. That's who he will be. So, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. I've got a lot of notes here, and I've got a lot of stuff that I do want to talk about. You look at what Auburn did with South Alabama. So, South Alabama is not a great team. They're not a bad team either. They're a Sun Belt team. I think they're one of the better Sun Belt teams better teams in the Sun Belt League. You have North Texas, who's up there as well, Georgia Southern. So those are just a few teams that I'll name, and obviously I'm just leaving it at that. But Auburn needed to play much better defensively, man. Obviously, it was a little sluggish offensively and defensively. I think a lot of people know what's coming from Auburn this upcoming weekend. A lot of people are thinking that they're probably going to run the ball a lot, which I do agree they probably will do. They're going to try to. They're going to have to try to, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to throw the ball. Now, the problem is, if Auburn wants to run it, they've got to open it up a little bit. Because here's the problem. Oklahoma's front seven, oh my gosh. Oklahoma's front seven is probably the best in the country. It's one of the best in the country for sure. Auburn's one of the best in the country as well. I certainly believe that 100%. And I'll stand 10 toes down on the fact that this weekend, Oklahoma versus Auburn will be one of the better front seven matchups that you will see as a whole this year. You have Oklahoma's front seven, Auburn's front seven. Defensively, these are really, really good teams. I just don't necessarily think that Auburn is going to get over that hump. Now, we've seen this almost, and I'm not going to say every year from Auburn, because it's been a while since we've seen this, because it's from the last few years, it's been lose, 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 lose. The problem with Auburn is Auburn gets to that hump where they're 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, or something like that, 5-0. You saw it a few years ago when I think it was 19. Auburn played Florida in the swamp in Gainesville. They went into that game 5-0. Okay, they finished that year with 4 losses. Yeah, so, I mean, Auburn just cannot seem to get over that one hump. And I think they will get there, not this year, but they will get there eventually. So it's just all about getting over that hump for Auburn. You get over that hump this weekend, you improve to 4-0, you go into College Station, dude, you have momentum. You have momentum. And I would say you beat Texas A&M then, but I just don't see it happening. I think you lose this weekend to Oklahoma, and what I think is going to be a very, very, very strong defensive game. Oklahoma, I think, is going to overpower Auburn on the defensive side of the football. Auburn doesn't have necessarily much going for them offensively. Now, we have not seen much yet. That's why I'm saying that. Now, Jackson Arnold could come out there this weekend and light the world on fire, but I just don't necessarily think that's going to happen. So, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know, but for right now, it's looking like that Auburn is probably going to go out and not lay an egg, but they're going to go out. They're going to try and run the football a little bit. They're going to notice that they can't do that, and it's going to say, oh, crap, we're kind of screwed. And while I don't want that to happen, I do believe that that's what's going to happen. Now, I'd love to see for Jackson Arnold to go out there, spin the pill a little bit, throw it around, Throw it out there to the middle third, man. Throw some deep passes into the middle of the field. I just can't see it happening. Now, I'd love to see Singleton get involved, get 7, 8, 9 receptions this game. Cam Coleman, 6, 7, 8, 9 receptions this game for 80 yards, 90 yards. Eric Singleton, same thing, dude. Malcolm Simmons, 4 5 for 40, 50, 60 yards for a touchdown or two. That's what you'd love to see for Auburn. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't have faith that Jackson Arnold can do that. I would love to. I love Jackson Arnold. I think I'm not going to say he's a great fit, but I think he's a great, I will say he's a great fit. He's a great fit for the Auburn offense, the way that they have been running over the last few years, because they can't throw the ball. Now, I hate to say it like that. I hate to be blunt like that, but that's just kind of how it is. So I hate it, man, and I'll go more in depth in predictions a little bit later, but that's just kind of how I see that working out. Alabama, man, what a game they had this past weekend. They played the Wisconsin Badgers, and they whooped them, man. It was nothing short of whooping them. Ryan Williams finally got back on track. A phenomenal game by him. Kevin Riley stepped up and played a really nice game. Ty Simpson, somebody that nationally not too many people are talking about, but down south over the past 2 games, people are noticing that he's had a really good stretch over the past 2 games. Now we get it. It's lesser competition. We all knew that he was going to be better than what he was against Florida State, okay? But here's the thing is Wisconsin, obviously, they're a Power 4 team. I think they're a little bit better than people give them credit for. I don't think they're great by any stretch of the imagination. But obviously, they went out there, they lost to Alabama, they got thrown all over the field. But one thing I did notice was that there were times that Alabama didn't just run it down their throat. And I thought that Wisconsin did a good job of standing up strong on that front 4 of that defensive line. The problem is that Alabama decided to open things up a little bit, and that's when Wisconsin got cooked a little bit. Ryan Williams had a good game. You had Jeremy Bernard, who also played a really good game as well. So Isaiah Horton, too. So, man, Alabama's set when it comes to wide receivers. They are. So I'm excited to see what they have over the next few games. We got Georgia here in a few weeks. That'll be a fun one. It's a blackout game for Georgia, so it doesn't help Alabama out any. But either way, regardless, I think it'll be a fun matchup, a fun game, and I'm excited to see what Alabama will be able to do. Now, moving on, I want to jump into some of the games that are happening this weekend. We've got Michigan, Nebraska. We'll jump into those a little later. What's happening this weekend? What's happening with the Power 12? We broke that down for you. I didn't break it down for you earlier in the week. I put out the HCS Power 12 on Tuesday. I think I'm going to start doing that on Sunday mornings. I'm still a little unsure. Why am I doing that? Because I want you guys to wake up on Sunday. Obviously, you got church. I'm not taking away from that. But I want you guys to wake up on Sunday and be like, hey, you know what? What's the rankings looking like today? So that's what we may do. We may just drop the HCS Power 12 on Sunday. We'll get the kinks figured out. We'll get it to you. We'll get all the information there to you. Won't be nothing to it. So, anyways, HCS Power 12 here coming to you here in just a second. Here we go. That is week 4 of the HCS Power 12 of the 2025 college football season, coming in at number 12. Obviously, the best group of 5 position there is. Okay, so we have the top group of 5 seed at that number 12 spot. Number 11, Texas. Still a little iffy on Texas. If they go and put up another egg this weekend and show that they aren't necessarily ready for that, boom, out of the Power 12, no problem. Tennessee, man. Tennessee showed me that while losing that game to Georgia, and yes, I am rewarding that loss because, listen to me, they played like one of the best teams in the country, man. They played like one of the best teams in the country. They went out there, they performed. Josh Heupel shows us exactly why one of those Tennessee offenses, one of those Josh Heupel-led offenses is one of the best in the country when they are on. So I have Tennessee right there. They will continue to prove everybody right with that position at number 10. Florida State at number 9. They're continuing to go off what they did in week 1 against Alabama. That's where they are. A&M number 8. They showed all they needed to show this past weekend. And I'll go into Heisman talk later because Marcel Reed has a bunch of buzz. Well, I do understand the buzz. People have him 1 on some pages, Robert Griffin III, and I don't understand that. I'll go into it later. Oklahoma at 7. Don't really need to say anything else. Penn State at 6. Haven't necessarily proven to me anything this year yet. But here's the thing: we all knew Penn State was going to be a top team coming into the year. We all knew that. We all saw it coming. That's just the fact of the matter. Now, the hype around Drew Aller, we can get into that later. Not necessarily what I'm going into right now. Now, Miami number 5. They've been really solid, man. You could make an argument that this team is a little bit higher up right now. This is where I have them though. Miami, they blew out USF. Now I get USF, not necessarily one of those teams that is just off the paper great. I get it, I understand, but it's the best group of 5 team. Okay, that's why they're at 12. Rolling past it, Miami has played like one of the best teams in the country. They will remain one of the best teams in the country because they're playing like it, guys. Carson Beck, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, extremely precise. The dude has his confidence back, and that's what I like to see, okay? In Georgia last year, he seemed to get a little rattled at times. Now it seems like he has a little bit of his confidence back. He's played Notre Dame, one of the best defenses in the country, by the way, that a lot of people are saying one of the best corner tandems in the country. What people were saying, A&M went out there, A&M went out there and they beat them by 1 point. Now I get it. Probably shouldn't have won that game. Late non-call, holding call in that game. Now, no, it shouldn't happen. I'm not going to lie to you. A&M shouldn't have won that game based on that. But based on where they are right now, that is where I have them, and that's because of the simple fact that they showed me a lot of promise, okay, in South Bend. That's not necessarily something that happens, as we have St. Clair County legend Nikki Van Pelt in the house. That's right, as she's walking away. But, yeah, man, that's just where I stand right now. So, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Miami number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have the Georgia Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs went out there. They proved why they've been at that top spot at number 4 right now. So if they continue to do that, they will continue to stay. Obviously, they're going to continue to rise if they continue to win and can keep continuing to prove people wrong if they aren't the same, or that they aren't the Georgia that people thought they were coming into the year. Keep in mind, a lot of people thought this Georgia team was nothing special yet. And keep in mind, they may still not be, but they went out and they proved everybody wrong by saying that, hey, you know what? We're going to go into Neyland Stadium, hostile environment. We're going to go in there. We're going to win a game. And obviously, they didn't even play their best football. So, and I get it. A lot of that's due to Tennessee playing a really good brand of football, but playing really good offensively and standing up strong defensively at times. But that's where I have Georgia. Oregon is absolutely dominating right now. I have them at number 3. I think they will continue to dominate. And look over the next few weeks for them to possibly even move up, okay? This is an Oregon team that is really good. Dante Morris with a lot of promise at the quarterback position. Freshman wide receiver, DeCorian Moore. God, man, and people need to really pay attention to this guy because over the next few weeks, over the next few months, he's going to show why he's one of the best best wide receivers in college football. I said it. I'm standing beside it. So go ahead, trash talk it all you want to. It's fine. Evan Stewart, he's going to be there too. Don't let some of these guys sleep on you, or don't sleep on some of these guys because they're good. Oregon's got a really good offense. You have Thibodeau or Thibodeau, defensive back from, I believe he transferred from Purdue. In that secondary for Oregon, he's phenomenal, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not sleeping on this Oregon team. I know where they are. I know where they stand. Uyunglele as well over there, not DJ. So I think they're going to be fine, man. Oregon is skyrocketing on my board. Now, LSU coming in at number 2. Now, LSU kind of struggled this past weekend. And I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to look at me and say, hey, you're an idiot. But I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. We have Paxton Walker chiming in. Do you think Auburn poses any threat to Oklahoma? Man, to an extent. First half, yes. Second half, no. I think that – I'll go into this a little bit later. Paxton. Stick around. Jacob Shirley says, love what you're doing in life, bro. Wish all well, man. Jacob, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Now, back to business, LSU. I'm going to get flamed for saying this, okay? And I honestly don't care because I truly believe this is a fact, and I'll stand by it. Let me gather my breath. Buffalo Wild Wings, sweet tea, baby. By the way, massive shout out to Miss Amber and Miss Tiffany for taking care of me tonight here, Buffalo Wild Wings. Done a phenomenal job, as well as Miss Lexi and Miss Lauren, Buffalo Wild Wings. So really appreciate them and all that they're doing. Now, Florida is not that bad of a football team, and I will stand on that because I don't think they are. Now, I understand now. Hold on, let me come back from it. Florida is a good football team, okay? They are a good football team. Lagway has Billy Napier as his head coach, okay? Billy Napier is a quarterback guy. He'll get it right. He'll get it fixed out. Florida's not that bad of a team. I pray that you listen to me on that, okay? Defensively, they aren't that bad. They gave up 20 points to an extremely good LSU team, especially when it comes to offensively. They're extremely good offensively. Now, Florida, I know offensively they haven't done anything really great, okay? DJ Lagway, he's really got to get his feet under him. Right now, it looks like a 3-year-old riding a bike without his training wheels. I understand that. They will figure it out. I'm telling you, they will figure it out, okay? Now, LSU, they will improve. They'll get better and better and better as the season goes on. But just so you know, that loss is not necessarily justifiable if you just say, oh, it was Florida. Or excuse me, the win was not justifiable. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. It was just Florida. It was just Florida, and you won by 10, and DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions. While, yes, a main concern, a massive concern, because offensively you got a lot to figure out. I don't think that Nussmeier is completely healthy. He's not. I'm not going to even say think. I know he's not completely healthy. But, guys, this LSU team is going to be good, okay? They're going to be good. They're going to figure it out. They've got a lot to prove. They've got a lot to show. Now, Ohio State, the number 1 team when it comes to the HCS Power 12. Believe me when I say this, and believe me for a reason. Ohio State is one of the best teams in the country, especially when it comes to defensively, okay? I've talked about Sonny Styles at the linebacker core, and I can talk about Caleb Downs in the secondary all I want to. You guys are going to get tired of it. I know. I understand. You have to understand that defensively they're one of the best teams in the country, and they are extremely physical, okay? Look at what they did to Texas in week 1. I understand the Arch Manning fall off right now. I understand. Bad situation for a quarterback, right? Bad situation for a first-year starter. Now, I get he started a few games last year. First-year starter. I get it. I understand. Now, bear with me when I say this when I come here. Ohio State, while if they struggle at times, and while they did struggle with with Texas at times, they still found a way to pull through. They still found a way to get gritty, okay? And they dominated the majority of that game. It wasn't even close to the majority of the game, okay? So, I don't know. They'll figure it out. In Ohio, and a bunch of these teams are going to figure it out. We're in week 4, or not even 2 weeks 4 yet. We're about to be in week 4, and you'll see a lot of these teams really start to improve. Because why are they going to improve? Well, for one, coaching is starting to kick in. Everything is starting to get under a roll, man. What's happening with Clemson? They will start to get in a roll. They will find their foundation. The problem is it will take time. Now, why is it taking this much time? I don't know, but it will take time. All right? Now, Daniel Welch, Dawson Welch, and Bobby Welch, man. Phenomenal guys. They can build a house. Or are you going to build your own house? Do you want to? Do you want to build a house? Do you want to buy some land? How much acreage do you want? All right? Buy the land. Okay, whatever you want to do. But if you're going to build a house, don't go to the hardware store 47 times and forget nails, screws, the little paint stuff that goes on the walls whenever you get a hole in the wall, or the insulation. Man, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not house savvy, but you know who is? Steel 174, okay? Daniel, Dawson, and Bobby, they make the process easy. They make it fun. They don't deal with all those. You don't have to deal with all the cuss words, all the slamming things up against walls. Man, Steel 174 is where it's at, man. They can get it going. Steel 174, they get it going. They're good. Steel strong. Steel reliable. Steel 174. You can visit Steel 174 on Facebook. A bunch of great guys over there. Build houses, construction company out of Steel, Alabama. They will get it done for you, okay? Now, this is the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. Senator Lance Bell, one of the best men we know, and one of the best men he knows. So, man, fantastic show tonight, and a bunch to talk about. Obviously, we dove into the Power 12. We dove into some of the matchups. So we want to shout out Miss Amber and Miss Tiffany who are walking by us here for refreshing us with the wonderful sweet tea here. And man, it's phenomenal. As you can see, I've got a wonderful setup here. I've got a mic that is 100% real. It's not used as a prop. I've got my laptop that I actually am using. I can see what you guys are commenting, what you guys are saying, and I love having you guys input. So continue that, man. We've got a lot for us, man, and I enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying the show as well. But moving on from now, okay, let's dive into Michigan versus Nebraska. So Michigan versus Nebraska taking place in Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. Now, here's the thing, okay? Nebraska's defense is 30. Okay, look what happened earlier on in the year. Week 1, it was a Thursday night of week 1, and Nebraska played Cincinnati. And Cincinnati didn't play good offensively at all, and everybody was like, oh, guess what? It's Cincinnati. No, okay? While it may have been a little bit of Cincinnati, a lot of this was Nebraska's defense. And Nebraska's defense was one of those defenses that's going to be one of the best in the Big Ten. They're going to be one of the best in the country by the time it's all said and done. This is a Nebraska team that could legit make the playoff, okay? The schedule's not that hard. Mind you, the schedule's not that hard. They have what it takes to make the playoffs, and they had the team to do it, okay? And a lot of what people need to realize is that Dante Moore, man, what am I talking about? Dylan Raiola. So I'm still hung up on Oregon. Dylan Raiola, man, he's grown, okay? Now, last year, I get it, the Patrick Mahomes, the little shtick, it's getting old to a lot of people. I understand, me too. But that Dylan Raiola, man, he can sling it, okay? He's a good quarterback. He knows how to manage the field. He knows how to manage the offense. He does a really good job with that. Game manager, elite passer. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what happens this season. But no, I think Dylan Raiola, he really sees the field well. He really sees the field well. And he will continue to do that, and he will lead this Nebraska team to more than likely 8, 9, 10 wins this year. Okay? I'm telling you right now, if they get to that 10-win mark, they will make the college football playoff. If, ands, buts, we all get it. Now, Michigan's coming into hostile territory. This is going to be an insane atmosphere, okay? This is a Nebraska team hosting the number 22 team in the country. Nebraska, what's going on? How are they going to fare off? I think they win this game, and I'll tell you why. Defensively, man, they are stout. And what happened when Bryce Underwood played a really strong defense a few weeks ago when they played Oklahoma? Didn't go his way. Now, I get it. I understand a little bit of the play calling was a little bit questionable. Now you have Biff Hogan publicly coming out and saying that he is going to let Bryce Underwood go. He's letting it have it. He's taking off the trainer. He's taking off the training wheels. And he's going to let Bryce Underwood fly. Why do I agree with this? John Wayne Brewer says Longhorn colors, yuck. Now, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I do apologize. We like to look professional, okay? Whether that's me. You know what? John Wayne, just for you, John Wayne Brewer, I want you to look me in my eyes here, okay? Next week, I will show up naked, okay? So, man, Michigan is going to come out swinging. Do not get me wrong. Justice Haynes, man, he is one of the best running backs in the country, okay? Alabama transfer. Oh, it's because he went to Alabama. I get it. But, no, man, Justice Haynes, one of the best running backs in the country. He will continue to prove that. I think he will be able to run the ball a little bit. But here's the thing. Bryce Underwood, he's got to open up a little bit. That offensive line, that offensive play calling, it's got to open up a little bit. Why does it have to open up a little bit? Let me tell you. Because Nebraska has a solid front seven, man. Nebraska has a solid run game. And I do not think that Michigan's just going to go out there and run it and be fine. That's not going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. If Michigan wants to win the game, Bryce Underwood's going to have to do it with his arm. Okay? And possibly his leg. So, Bryce Underwood, we've seen what he can do when he runs the ball. He's not a bad runner at all. Man. I love the tea here. I love the tea here. And some people prefer the margarita, or some people prefer the silver bullet. But I prefer the sweet tea, okay? I prefer the sweet tea, the water. This is not a drunk show, okay? Do what you want in your own time. Now, moving on. Who do I have winning this game? Okay, let's jump into it right now. I have the spread right here on my little on my iPad. So I have the spread right here. And Nebraska is currently a 2.5-point underdog. Okay, and this is a little bit interesting to me. I do not think that Nebraska should be an underdog here. I think that Nebraska should be favored. And let me just tell you why when I say this. And I get, Hayden, this is an SEC-centric show. You're in the South. Why in the world are you talking about the Big Ten? Well, let me tell you why. Because these are two of the best teams in the Big Ten, and Nebraska's going to make a statement Saturday night and show that they are one of the better teams in the country. Not top 5, not top 10, possibly top 15. We'll see. But that's where I'm coming from. Anyways, Michigan, they go into Nebraska, they go into Lincoln. Nebraska, they got one out. They win this game. I think Nebraska wins by a solid 10 points. Close game. Nebraska, they score a late touchdown, kick a late field goal, something along those lines, and they win this football game. So give me the Huskers of Nebraska, and, man, I think they win it. I think they go on to have a really nice season this year. And look out for Matt Rule, okay? Matt Rule and this Nebraska Cornhuskers team are going to be on a mission this year, okay? So if nobody's watching them, watch them now. Hayden Coker from the Hayden Coker Show said so. All right, moving on. Auburn at Oklahoma. I predicted this one a little earlier. I won't spend too much time on it. Oklahoma will win this game. So Oklahoma's going to win this game. I think they win it by probably double digits. It's going to be at home. It's going to be in home, Gaylor Family Stadium. So I've got Oklahoma. I think that Mateer continues to make a statement and make that claim and make that statement for the Heisman Trophy at the end of the year. I think he's definitely going to be in the conversation. He's, in my opinion, I don't know what RG3 is smoking. He has Marcel Reed as number 1 right now. It might possibly be a little bit of a doobie, but I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. So Marcel Reed, not number 1. John Mateer, 1. Okay, let's stop that whole narrative. RG3. Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand it. We're smoking the weed. Okay. Anyways, let's come back to it. All right. No doobie here. Oklahoma wins this game. Auburn loses. Mateer inserts himself again into that front runner for the Heisman conversation, the Heisman Trophy conversation. So that's just how that goes. Now moving on, Texas Tech at Utah, one of the best games, man. One of the best games of Saturday night, and I'm so excited for this one. And let me tell you why. So Devon Dampier, quarterback for the Utah Utes, and this is interesting. So Devon Dampier comes over from New Mexico. They bring the offensive coordinator, much like the Diego Pavia and his offensive coordinator at New Mexico State going to Vandy. Much like that. Here's the thing. This Utah team might be a little bit better than the Vandy team of last year. This Utah team might just make the college football playoffs. This Utah team might win Saturday night on their home field. Here's the problem. It's a Texas Tech Red Raider team that's extremely, extremely physical. Baron Morton, one of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12, one of the better quarterbacks in the country, coming into Utah, okay? What's going to happen here? I don't think – prepare yourself. I don't think that Baron Morton and company are going to be able to go out there and sling it all over the field like I think a lot of people are thinking. So, guess what? This Utah team is strong, man. They're physical. They're Utes. They're birds. They can fly. They're good. Now, this Texas Tech Red Raider team is not necessarily ready for it yet. Utah wins this game. They win it. Utah right now anyways, they are favored by 3 points on the iPad as I pull it out. SMU at TCU. TCU currently favored by, 7 points here. Check the iPad out. TCU is going to win that game against SMU. SMU, not a bad football team at all. This is not a conference game, mind you. SMU would still have a chance at the ACC championship game. But is SMU going to lose to 2 Big 12 teams back to back? Now, hold on now. Slow down and take it all in, okay? Big 12 team. 2 weeks ago, you saw this SMU team lose to Baylor, okay? Now they're playing another Big 12 team. You play the TCU Horned Frogs. This TCU team is legit, man. Josh Hoover, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. No, not just the Big 12, the country. So I need everybody to break it down, okay? Let's slow down. Let's gather ourselves, and let's really hone in on the fact that this is a team that is going to be good this year. So give me the Horned Frogs. Give me TCU, okay? That's going to be a fun one. Arkansas and at Memphis. So Arkansas going to Memphis, traveling all the way over about 5 hours or so to West Memphis. They're going to play a really good Memphis Tigers team. Further than West Memphis, right in the heart of Memphis. You know what I'm talking about. It's going to be in Tennessee, not West Memphis, Arkansas. You all know what I'm talking about. It all kind of meets there, same place. Memphis is just one big area. Okay, it's its own country. And this is going to be a solid matchup. Arkansas, I predicted last week, I predicted that they would beat Ole Miss. That didn't happen, okay? I predicted that Taylon Green would be inserted into the Heisman conversation. Guess what? I don't think he's out of it, okay? I don't think that he's out of it. I think that people who watch Taylon Green understand that guy has the juice. That guy has the juice. He has a talent. He has what it takes to be a Heisman-level quarterback. The problem is what's going to be around him, okay? Is this going to be an Arkansas team that over the last few years they've shown that they're inconsistent at times? Now, guess what? This is a different Arkansas team. I don't think that they are a 9-10 win team, and I don't think that Taylon Green will win the Heisman Trophy. But let me tell you what I do think. I think that Taylon Green will go out there and he will sling it around a little bit. He will insert himself into the conversation of one of the best in the SEC, and like he is right now. But a lot of people aren't necessarily catching on to that. So people, if you do not know who Taylon Green is, quarterback for Arkansas, dude, what are you doing? You got to figure that out. And the only thing that I know to do is lead a horse to water, okay? I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink, okay? I can lead a horse to a green pasture. I can lead a cattle to a green pasture, but I can't make it eat. I can't make it poop, okay? That's up to it. So you have to make that decision. Are you going to think that, hey, Taylor Green's one of the best in the SEC? He is. So go ahead, figure that out, get it going. You know exactly what's happening. Taylor Green and Arkansas win that game against Memphis, okay? Now moving on, Tulane coach John Sumrall, head coach of the Tulane Green Wave, traveling to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. And what's going to happen? Okay, Lane Kiffin. I think that Lane Kiffin is one of the better coaches in America. We've kind of discussed that. I think he's a great head coach. He come out and said today, I believe it was today in a press conference. I believe it was a press conference anyways. Don't quote me on that. He came out and said today, hey, you know what? Let me tell you something. John Sumrall is going to be a head coach in the SEC in the offseason. He's going to be hired by an SEC team in the offseason. Hold on now. Who's it going to be? Okay? So let's take a step back. Who's that going to be? Now I want to discuss that. So you have, let's see here, Billy Napier. Could he be going to Florida? You have South Carolina. Could Beamer go somewhere else? I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know. Mike Stoops, excuse me. And at Kentucky, I don't know, man. But a lot of people are gonna be woken up to John Sumrall. I don't think that they win this game this weekend at Ole Miss, but I do think they put up a really, really, really good fight. And I think that Lane Kiffin kind of got woke up last week whenever Arkansas nearly beat them. And Arkansas probably should have won that game. They were driving late in that game, down 41-35. They fumbled late in Ole Miss territory. Unfortunately, that leads to the demise of the Hogs, and we didn't call the Hogs on Saturday night. I mean, I did, but after the game, no, we didn't, because why would you call it dead hog? If you call it dead hog or you want to, it's just not going to come to you. So that's just all it is, man. But no, right now, Ole Miss, Tulane, I've got the Ole Miss Rebels here. And hey, Miss Tiffany, may I get some more sweet tea if you don't mind? Thank you so much. But yeah, I don't know, man. And I've had a god-awful amount of sweet tea today. I probably should have asked for water, but shout out to Miss Tiffany. She's been great here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City. Man, we're amped, man. This is Hayden Kilker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. We are amped, okay? A bunch going on in the next few weeks, okay? A bunch going on tonight. So we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere just yet. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. What I do want to do, though, is I want to discuss something real quick, okay? Man, I love Miss Tiffany. I don't have a straw. Okay. Anyway, what I want to discuss real quick. Man, that sweet tea is good. All right, North Carolina, TCU. Now, I talked a little bit about this earlier. Or, not TCU, sorry. North Carolina, UCF. My bad. So, North Carolina, UCF. UCF is one of those teams that is not good, all right? UNC, also one of those teams that's not very good. And I'm sorry to Jamie Strange out there if you're listening to me. I do apologize. Something that I have got to get under wraps and something I've got to start thinking more about, okay, is why is Bill Belichick there? Why is Bill Belichick coaching in college, man? This is easily a guy that could go retire. He loves football, okay? He just loves football. UNC, I've got them in this game. They're on the road going to Orlando. I've got them in this game. Although I think it'll be close, I have the Tar Heels in this game. NC State at Duke. NC State going on the road facing Darian Mensah. In this Duke Blue Devil team, I've got the Duke Blue Devils there. South Carolina at Missouri, number 23 in the nation right now, is the Missouri Tigers. The Missouri Tigers are not to be fooled around with, ladies and gentlemen. Neither is Vandy, by the way. I'll talk about them here in a little bit. So let's discuss for a second. All right, Mizzou. Bo Perbula is one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC right now. Okay, he's playing like one of the best teams in the SEC or quarterbacks in the SEC right now. Okay, do not get me confused when I say right now. Okay, this may not be something that lasts forever, but right now he's playing a really good brand of football. Okay, I think that Bo Perbula and company, they go out there, they beat South Carolina, which by the way Missouri is favored in this game by, let's see, it was 9.5 earlier. It may change as I check the iPad. So it's just all about configuring what you know and plugging it into this game, okay? Missouri, what we've seen over the last few weeks, extremely good offensively. And I don't think that South Carolina, which has kind of had a little bit of a fall off defensively, don't think they can handle that. I don't think they can. And Lenore Sellers is questionable. We think that he may play. I saw earlier that he was trending towards being able to play. Now it's all about, is he going to be able to step on that football field on Saturday, 1st and 10, 25 at the 25-yard line at 6 o'clock or whenever they play. So it's just all about that right now. As for now, even if Lenore Sellers plays, I don't have any faith in that team. I'm going with the Missouri Tigers. All right, moving on. Florida at Miami. So Miami currently a 7.5-point favorite. Now, this will be a fun game. This will be a really fun matchup. Thank you for everybody tuning in the live chat, whether you're watching via Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Highly appreciate you either way. Miami, man, they're too physical on both sides of the football. I'll take Miami. I'll take the points. I think they win by 17. And Florida's got to figure it out, man. That's 2 losses on the season already, USF and LSU. And Miami, man, I hate to say it because I really like this Florida team. And I really like Coach Billy Napier, but I think that this is probably going to be it for Billy Napier at Florida after this year. And I hate to say that. I don't want it to be. I hope he comes back, and I hope he wins not 10 games, or 8 or 9 games. That's possible now. But, I don't know, man. I don't see it happening. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll be there next year. Moving on, we have the Illinois Fighting Illini. And ladies and gentlemen, SEC country, put your notice on this game, okay? Illinois and Indiana. Now, I get what you're saying. Oh, Indiana, the team that went and laid an egg in the playoffs last year. Indiana, the team that went and got their A-double snakes handed to them last year against Ohio State. Is this team good? They haven't proven anything. They never prove anything. They haven't beat a top 25 team. Coach Kirk Cignetti is all talk and no walk. Well, I think they prove you wrong here on Saturday night as they play the Illinois Fighting Illini at 6:30 on Saturday night. I think the Indiana Hoosiers, Bloomington, Indiana, will be on fire on Saturday night, as you have none other than the Hoosiers getting the win over the Fighting Illini. And you have Fernando Mendoza, who everybody needs to pay attention to right now. Altmaier, good as well. Statistics are close. I'm not going to lie to you. Fernando Mendoza, man, over 70% completion percentage, close to 1,000. I believe over 1,000 yards right now in passing. Or I'm sorry, maybe just below it. I want to say 10 or 11 touchdown passes, no interceptions. The dude is good. He's a stud. I get it. Not playing against anybody. By the way, Fernando Mendoza, his brother, Alberto Mendoza, he's in that backup quarterback room. I believe they were the first, I want to say ever in FBS history. It was the first brother tandem, the brotherly duo to ever throw for a touchdown in the same game. In the same game for a singular team. So, I mean, I thought that was impressive, and I really like what Alberto Mendoza and Fernando Mendoza are doing over there. But no, Kurt Cignetti, I think they get the guys rolling. I think they beat this Fighting Illini team, and I think that Indiana probably going to insert themselves into a top 12 category, a top 12 team. Well, why are they there? Let me just tell you why. Illinois is there, and I can go ahead and pull it back up for you. In the HCS Power 12, guess who is a top team? Guess who's a top team, okay? You see them right. You don't see them right there, but they were last week, and they fell out for good reason, and that's because other teams are just playing better than them right now, okay? But Indiana has a chance to do something really, really special. I think they do it. I think they win this game. They get their first win over an AP Top 25 team this year and last year. So, I don't know. We'll see it. As I go back to check the iPad, I have Arizona State and Baylor as well. That's going to be a fun one, and people need to realize this Baylor Bears team is legit in the Big 12. Now, I understand what happened in week 1. You lose to Auburn. You nearly get beat by SMU. Guys, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that against SMU. It was about proving somebody wrong. You played in Dallas. Wasn't too far from home for Baylor to go. They didn't have too far to go from Waco. Man, I get it. I understand what you're thinking. But let me tell you, this Baylor team offensively, when it comes to the passing game, dude, they're a freaking legit team, man. They are a legit team. Josh Cameron, man, Michael Trigg. Those are 2 really good dudes. Tight end Michael Trigg, phenomenal hand, extremely physical, transferred from Ole Miss. Okay, Josh Cameron, extremely physical wide receiver. So people aren't paying attention too much to this Baylor team. You better do it, man, because they're going to prove you wrong, and they're going to do it in a big way here in a few weeks. They're going to do it tomorrow. They're going to do it again here in a few weeks, so watch out. Now, we talked about everything that I wanted to talk about tonight, but when it comes to matchup-wise. Now, stay with me for a second. And I made John Wayne Brewer a promise earlier that I'm going to go back on because I'm not going to show up naked, okay? I just want to let you know that. But the SEC is going to announce the permanent 3 opponents for each SEC team this coming Tuesday. That is September the 23rd. So that's going to be a lot to talk about next week. We're going to have the HCS Power 12 come out next week. You're going to see clips of the show on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X. So whatever you want to see, guys, it's going to be there. Especially when this SEC crap comes out, man. When they reveal the permanent 3 opponents for some of the SEC teams, be on the lookout because we're going to have a lot to talk about. Okay, it'll be a lot to talk about next week, and I'm excited to break it down with you guys next week. Now, I understand that some people may not think that Clemson and with the fall off over the last few weeks, I understand for great reason that there's a lot of doubt. I understand. Let's take a sip of the Buffalo Wild Wings sweet tea. Man, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. But people need to realize this Clemson team, obviously, the fall off is real. I understand that. I've got an interesting stat for you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and break that out for you. Clemson, okay? Clemson, since the 2020 ACC championship game, is currently 15-17 against AP top 25 opponents. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it real slow. I'm gonna say it fast. Clemson, since 2020, not fast, okay, that 2020 ACC championship game, Clemson is 15-17 against AP top 25 opponents. Woo! All right, now, I've got that off my chest, and something that we've got to realize is Clemson will be back. I think they'll be fine, but this is a real problem, a real problem. Clemson stepped up last year. Klubnik ended up playing like a Heisman contender last year. Obviously, he really came on late in the year, but now something's changed. Something has fallen off. Kate Klubnik has gone from way up here down to right here. Okay, it's just not a good level. Okay, so he's gone from he's gone from Spider-Man to Black Adam. Okay, it's just 2 different universes. One's good, one's not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why. I don't understand how. We'll figure it out over the next few weeks. We'll figure it out. Clemson, they've got a few tough upcoming games here in the next few weeks. So I mean, we will figure it out. So just gonna go ahead and let you know that. But in the last bit of news for tonight, as I checked down at the iPad, the NCAA has officially eliminated the spring transfer portal window. So what it was last year, December 8th to December 29th, you would be able to transfer, or you could enter the transfer portal, and then you would be able to obviously transfer from there, okay? Then, because that was a bad spot for guys like Bo Prabula, who didn't want to leave Penn State, but out of the best possibility for him, he needed to, okay? So that is one of the situations that we can look at. He didn't want to leave Penn State because they were still in the playoffs, and he has love for Penn State. But he had to in order for him to actually get somewhere he wanted to be, because obviously we knew he wasn't going to start this year. Now Prabula is putting people on notice, all right? So, all right. Let's pause. Let's look at it. After the season, there was a spring transfer portal, okay? Now, that's eliminated. Now it's going to be right after. So teams that are still officially in the whether it's the bowl game or whether it's the playoff, whatever. So if they're still in the playoff, after that playoff game, you have 5 days to enter your name into the transfer portal. Now that is not to commit to a team, okay? That is to enter the transfer portal. Nothing less, okay? You have time to pick your team. You have time to get recruited, all that jazz, because recruiting takes time, okay? We understand that. But here's the thing, and people soak this in with me. Now it's a little bit different. I love the rule. I absolutely love it. It eliminates the spring transfer portal window. You don't get the transfer after you've transferred before the spring, and I love that. So you don't get guys hopping around from place to place just because they don't get the start that they so wanted, that their mom and dad was like, oh, you're going to start, baby? No, it doesn't work like that. You don't get the transfer again, all right? So I love it. I personally love it. I love it. I think that coaches, it benefits them a little bit more as well. So I don't know, man. It's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to watch. And if everybody watches the show, you're tuning into the Hayden Coker Show live, presented to you by Senator Lance Pell. I think you'll enjoy it as well. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings here in Pell City. I appreciate everybody watching tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. We've got the Bills and Dolphins on. If you want to catch that game, come down to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch that one. And want to go ahead and say massive, massive, massive thank you to the guys at Steel 174. Are you going to build your dream home but don't quite know what to do? Something that you do want to do, and I'm going to break it down and we'll get out of here, okay? What you do want to do is you want to go down to Facebook. You want to get on Facebook, and you want to go to Steel 174. Look up Steel 174 on Facebook. You've got Dawson Welch, Bobby Welch, Daniel Welch, and their whole crew. They will take care of you, man. They will take care of you. They will get it done. I know why. You know why? You know how I know why? Because I've spoken with them. I've seen what they do. I know how they do it. Not everything. I don't know how to build a house, but you know what I'm saying, man. And this is a really good group. Still fast. Still is really good. Steel 174 is. So if you're looking for somebody to build your home, all right, Steel 174. Still strong, still reliable, Steel 174. They're fast to build your home, they're quick with it, and they get the job done the right way. They don't just put up a gingerbread house, okay? They don't just glue it on there with some icing. That's not how that works, all right? They're good, they're great, and they're awesome, okay? Still strong, still reliable, Steel 174. Go to Facebook. Go to Facebook, look up Steel 174. You can find all of their stuff there. Now, guys, I promised you I'd get out of here and not keep you guys hanging for too long. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Pell. Senator Lance Pell. I think he's the greatest person on the planet. He does too. Love you, Lance. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. We'll be back the same time next week. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. HCS Power 12 Sunday morning. We think, unless something changes, we will let you guys know. Okay. Now, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. If you want me to do a little something differently, or there's a specific segment that you would like to have done, or that you would like to see. All right. Let Hayden Coker of the Hayden Coker Show know. All right. We're gonna check the iPad and we're gonna close it down for one last time tonight. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. Don't get in any trouble, man. Please don't get in any trouble. All right? Behave. I know who you are. You know who you are. Don't do anything stupid. It's the Hayden Coker Show. Have a good one. See you next week.